this? Did you just go to the gym?
Did I? Does
Yeah.
this look like it? Yeah, this morning I did actually. We were just like running around and doing a bunch of stuff, so I still have gym hair.
It's like the only time I ever see your hair up.
I know. It's because it's all stupid and short and piecey now too. So I don't know. I just don't go to put it up. Hey Meg! There's the gym partner right there.
Her hair's still up too? Yeah.
Yep. We both got the gym due.
Hey,
How are ya?
good.
Are you sore?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah. No, definitely feeling my bum.
Yeah, it was good. I'm kind of scared when you got up your sleeve for us tomorrow.
I know. I have to think about that still.
Be in a very relaxed mood when you think about it, okay?
Got one.
I'm going to say, sorry guys, this light, I had no idea was good. Hang on. Hey. Alrighty. Woo, now I'm blinded. Looked at the light. That's a bit, okay, a little easier. Crazy, it's super bright, and I didn't realize, when you're setting stuff up, like the office window, and apparently the sunset comes right there, which is pretty nice, but it's a little bright. So, is that better? Can you guys, not that you really need to see me, and I really don't want you to see me, so. Alrighty, so it's 7:01. We'll get started because I know Kristen's going to be a little late. Kate can't make it tonight. Megan Martin, I think it'll just depend on whether she's got Wi-Fi or what's happening. So we might as well get started. So yeah, what I kind of thought, so I kind of switched it up a little bit for tonight, just for the reasoning I was going to cover supporting as well as compensation plan and placements. And I was just scared we weren't going to have enough time to cover the supporting aspect, which is super important. So what I kind of did is we're going to focus on that. We're going to open it up again for some questions, and also just talk about this month's promo a little bit, just so, because it is it's a busy one because there's both warehouses with different stuff. So I just thought we'd go over that too. So chances are we will get done a little bit earlier, potentially, we'll see. But we'll kind of go from there. And but yeah, so we'll begin with supporting. So we've talked about our preparing, our inviting, our presenting, our enrolling, which are all super crucial. There's steps we need to take, but the final one being supporting. And when it comes to supporting, this is going to be our ticket basically to our residual income. Hi, Blaine. He's got little flirty eyes, I tell you, that kid. So the supporting part is a huge aspect. So what I'm going to do actually afterwards is I'm going to post the video that Megan did with the Begin program for the compensation and placements, because she does go over everything. And we will, again, be able to go over anything afterwards that you might have questions with. And later when I do the program for us to be able to get all our builders in, I'll go through those separately. So there'll be modules for each of them. And I think that'll just break it down a little bit better. But for this, just for us afterwards, I'll post that video, and that's actually going to be kind of part of the homework with it. But yeah, so let me, get to the screen sharing here. I always forget how to do this. Okay. Alrighty, can you guys see that okay? Yeah? Cool. Okie dokie. Sorry, I feel a little like I'm showing a lot of stuff here. Alrighty, so supporting, like I said, this is kind of the ticket to our residual income. It's actually, oops, just gonna, let's see here, just gonna meet you there, Deb. Okay, that should be good. Okay, background noise there. So supporting is definitely the all about the residual income, and most of us know kind of what that is. But basically, it's you're earning income for not directly interacting at that time. So when people say they're making money while they sleep, that's basically your residual income, which is a big portion of this. And as much as we'll go through the compensation later, when we talk about our level, which is the major portion of our compensation, that comes down to the residual income. So this part is actually super, super crucial. So basically empowering somebody to become a daily essential oil user results in a happy, healthy, loyal customer and a healthy, successful business. So what we're going to talk about tonight is just as important for our customers as it is for us with our business too. And like I said, this is the step most new business builders skip. And if you do, you'll constantly be having to find new customers to replace the ones you didn't support. So it really is, it's kind of I don't want to say a kind of a monotonous or a time consuming, but it seems to be we put a lot of effort into our inviting and our enrolling and the presenting of the classes. But then afterwards, it seems like we kind of, go off the radar a little bit. We might support people, for a little bit, and then it's kind of, we go off from that. But truly, any order that gets made in our organization, we're going to get a percentage of that. In some of the levels, it might not be that big. But you know what? And to start, you might only have a few people on your team, and it might not seem like a lot. But eventually, when you get to 1,000 people in your organization, which does not take long, all those little orders, whether it be LRP or standard orders, they're all going to make you money. So everybody is an important person to be able to support, as opposed to just our newbies too. So let's continue here. This is just something that Ange had actually posted. I think it was last week sometime. But I really like the way it kind of explained it. Basically, it's a lot less expensive to keep current customers than acquire a new one. If we're not having to go through the time and effort of getting to a class and spending the money on the gifts and incentives and all of that, just by supporting our customers we have, that's an obvious. It's going to be a lot less expensive. I'll let you guys kind of read through this too, and we can go back through it. I don't want to waste a lot of time there, but it definitely is far easier to keep current customers happy than it is to enroll new ones. By all means, we want to enroll new people all the time, but at the same time, we can't let our other customers be left behind on that. And especially, with the different months and the different promos, like last month was really good for getting newbies. But, this month is really key when it comes to supporting people to actually get them on LRP, creating a 200 PV order, and they get tons of free stuff. So this is a great month, again, to really step into that supporting role. And by all means, like I said, it's kind of the toughest spot. Not everyone's going to take you up on it either. You can try and try. There's many people that I've attempted multiple times afterwards to meet up with or to call to go over things. But at the same time, it's, it is their choice, but at least you're doing your part, which is good. So a major part in this is going to be plugging them into different continuing education and supporting avenues, as well as doing the wellness consults. And that's going to be a major part of our conversation because it truly is. When people hear that, they kind of back away. And 100%, 2.5 years in doing this, there's probably just as many people that I have done the wellness consult or membership overview with that I also haven't. And again, you can't force them, that's okay. But you also go to see down the road which ones do become loyal customers and which ones don't. So it definitely, the better you can get them to do that, or the quicker even, the better they will be a lasting customer too. I apologize about my voice. Again, I seem to be always sick. So I'll try to just keep drinking and keep it not sounding so freakish. All right. So this, I've just created a bit of a checklist that I do with every new customer that I have. I actually truly hate calling them customers because I feel like it's way too retail, but at the same time, that's kind of what they're labeled as. So this is just kind of something that I go through with each and every person. It's good to get into a routine and a role. You might want to be able to, type all what you want to do, your list of stuff, keep it at your desk, on your phone, make a spreadsheet out of it, do whatever you need to do to just make sure that you're kind of getting everybody doing the same flow. Again, this is just for them as much as it is for you. So this will make your life easier too. But definitely sending their welcome email within the first 48 hours. I really try to do it the night of the class, but obviously depends what time you get home and whatnot, just what your schedule is looking like. But if you can do it between 48 hours is the best. I will post afterwards too the welcome email that we're able to personalize, customize for the person afterwards. And this again has just been created by Ange. By all means, put your own personal touches in it. That is the best. As much as we've been given all these gifts and everything that we can use, any personal touch is just going to be a little bit more of a relationship builder with you and that customer too. It's one thing, if you don't talk at all, like how, say, Ange Peters would, when somebody reads this, they're going to kind of know it wasn't you that did it, which, doesn't make it feel as important to them. So I will post that afterwards, but on that you're going to include their ID number that you're given when you do the enrollment, their temporary password, lots of links. I really do encourage people at the time, at the class, I talk about again with the resources and the support, and this is something that I always say that I will do is be able to send them a welcome email. Again, when I'm enrolling, I say again, it really is important because so many of us will get emails and just, delete them right away. And this is one that actually has some crucial information because when they're calling you and asking for their password or their ID number, it's really cool to be able to be like, oh, did you not read the email that I sent you? And like some crucial information. So I just try to, let them know. Again, it is important. Try not to throw it away right away. But just, again, in their phone, in their notes, write out their password, their ID number. It's an easy reference. And then if the email gets lost, that's okay. But at the start, it is really good if they can go through it. So the membership overview and wellness consult, try again to book within 2 weeks. Couple of reasons for that. People are obviously at the class, they're the most pumped up, they're the most excited about their oils and just this whole adventure that they're going to go on with you. So the sooner you can get it booked, the better. We'll talk a little bit more about that later too. One other thing that's really important, I think, within that 2 weeks, if possible, is that again, we have 14 days to place these people. So within that 14 days, if you can be able to sit down and talk with them, you'll be able to actually, get into a little bit more about the business or if they want to be a sharer, and you have a better idea of where you can place them on your team. Ideally, you're going to put people who are going to be builders or potential builders higher up on your tree, as opposed to just the customers. So if you can have that really good sit down or just one-on-one phone call with them within that 2 weeks, it's just going to give you a better idea of where you should place them before that 14 days. So definitely add the oil to the oil user pages, basically. Most people do create one of their own at the start. A lot of people don't, and that's totally fine. There is, again, feel free to add them into mine as well. And we'll get into, again, more support with more detail of things later on. But another one too, again, being the Whole Fit community page, which is amazing. I think there's over like 45,000 people on it. So it's really good. But if your customer gets really overwhelmed, then it might be too much for them. Some people do because there's a lot of action in that one. And they might be just the ones then at that point you're just going to be a little slower with. And again, another great page is Megan's Essential Journey page. That's a good one too. I always find, especially if people are really into working out and fitness, that's a great page because that's kind of her specialty too. So there's always good information based on that as well. And invite the new user to the email drip campaigns. So there's actually a couple. There is one that you can go through with the doTERRA.com in the living section that has a drip campaign, and then Ange has created ones kind of based on that for us in particular. And again, that's found in the exact same spot as those toolkits, like the class teaching toolkit. It's in her business page. In the description section, there is a 90-day or a 13-day. It's the exact same information. It basically is just going to depend on how fast the person might be to take in the information. If somebody, again, gets overwhelmed, you're probably going to go the 90-day, and I think it works out to be about like 1 email a week or something. So it gives them a lot of time to kind of process. And if it's the 13-day, then I'm pretty sure it's 1 every day. So again, for builders, that might be something a little quicker you want to put them through, or people who think that they might build. But if it's just, kind of customers who are just want to slowly go at this pace, then the 90-day might be a good one with that. Okay, so basically, overall intentions of a membership overview and wellness consult. So we all know 99% of our classes are going to be Essential Oil 101. Which is kind of the easiest for people to get started, hence the reason why that's kind of why we do it. So the membership or the wellness consult is definitely to introduce them to products other than the oils they just got. So most people will order one of the starter kits, and they have got information, and by all means you will go over other stuff, but it's also going to go over new information too. All right. So another thing that it's going to do is you're going to basically create their 90-day wellness plan with them. This is really important because, again, it's showing your support. It's showing, just the breakdown. It's going to make it easier. We all know when we do a class, by the end of it, everyone's kind of just staring at us because it's pretty overwhelming. So this allows us to really break it down for them, and most people do enjoy that. It's also a great opportunity to enroll them with the LRP, the Loyalty Rewards Program. Personally, I don't go to talk about the LRP at a class. Again, for the reason I find that people they're so overwhelmed with everything that you start tossing that and percentages and numbers and dates and everything else at them, it just gets a little overwhelming. By all means, it's fine to kind of mention that there is a program to be able to earn free products, but just even explaining to them that on your wellness consult that you'll go over in a little bit more in depth with them on it. And empower them to change their lives. That's what we are. We are a wellness company there, ladies. If you're not about wellness, not the right spot. We've got so many opportunities for this. We've got so many great tools that we can help ourselves and help others. And with the way the world's going, so many people want to jump on this because everybody is about the natural way. And we've definitely been given a gift with these oils and products. So, stay positive with that. Let them know it's possible. When people feel like they're just having a rough go and they need a good start with something, this is perfect for them. It's mental and it's physical health, both just as equally important. So scheduling of a membership overview, ideally you want to do this at the time of the enrollment. I find that, just like I kind of said here, so our next step is to schedule a wellness consult, show how to manage your orders and get the most out of your membership. When would you be available? When you're sitting down going through the enrollment with them, it's just a great time to kind of toss that in, that's the next step. Makes them feel, again, like right away they're not lost. So they're ordering, they're spending these hundreds of dollars on their oils, but now they know they already have a lockdown date to be able to talk about them with you. And some people they just, it's hard to know their schedule, that type of thing, and that's okay. I find it's kind of, again, half and half with it. But if you can do it, I think it's just better. You can plan a little bit, you can prepare, you kind of have it set that way. And again, just kind of a good systematic follow-up, basically. It just kind of gets you in that role. So why is a membership overview so important? Basically, a lot of going over just the specifics of their membership, what's available to them, and definitely their website overview. I really, there's been lots of times, that people try to go on and they've got no clue what they're looking at. So whether it's a matter of you sitting down and meeting with them and doing it, or if you guys are on the phone and you're both on your computers, it's a little bit more difficult that way, but it's still, you can definitely go over things. Like I said, provide systematic follow-up, increases loyalty, rewards, and volume. And again, we know loyalty rewards, it helps us out. It contains those eggs in that basket that we're not constantly refilling that every month. We know our volume starts back up. And when there's people with LRP, it's kind of that cushion that you know you've already got. It's kind of secured volume. So then you can start gauging your numbers that you need to be able to hit your ranks and be able to hit your goals for the end of the month. So you know what, this is a key thing, because again, at a class, it's really tough to toss some more stuff at them. And so I find this call or this one-on-one, this little meeting afterwards is a great time for it. Builds relationships. I don't think anybody would disagree who's ever done one, that when you leave that, you feel like you know more about them, they know more about you. This business is about relationships. That's a key part of it. When we're getting to know people, when we're thinking that, you know, you could be able to help them, but you want to know how, you're always constantly getting to know somebody. So doing a sit down one-on-one is always a great thing as well. And identifies builders. So we'll discuss it a little bit more, but you know, at a class, it is great to toss out the different pathways they can take. So we know there's just living, which most people will be that. Just going to use their oils, just kind of go about learning different things and slowly doing this. Then we get into the sharing, which is, again, a great way to be able to pay for their own oils. And might do, you know, a class here and there, just, you know, talk to their mom about it, their sister about it, their best friend. And also to be able to, then with the building, to be able to create an income with this. So it's really great to add a class. Like I said, you can talk about that. And I always briefly say, if what I'm doing is something that you can see yourself doing, definitely come up to me afterwards. We can sit and we can chat about a few things, or we can meet one-on-one. Or if it's something that, again, I try to get them when they're thinking of their own health concerns, to also be considering their family and friends, and if they can benefit from what I'm teaching them tonight as well. And that gets into the sharing aspect as well. So a lot of it, and like I said, we've got the Live Guide there. So this can be found with the Share Success, just like with the Launch Your Biz. There's the Live, the Share, and the Build. I can't stress enough how important it is to go over these and just to know it lays everything out for us. So they're available in our back office. They're available from the site. You can download it and print it, whatever's easiest. The new ones are all out, which they're absolutely amazing. Just know when you're doing membership overviews, these guides not only guide the person with their path, but they guide you in how to talk about it with them. So the stuff I'm going through, you don't need to really, don't stress over the fact of learning everything that way, because these guides just help you through with it. They break it down really, really well. So let's see, one of the things that it discusses is, again, customizing your wellness plan. So everybody has something different that they want to take from this. And remember when it was a big thing with I don't want to say the pyramid, because that's such a bad word when it comes to this, but the foundation of the healthy lifestyle, it was kind of built up in that level, but it was broken down into these 5 categories, which are the 5 that we basically have control over of our own health. So, you know, it breaks down exactly if people are looking at more stuff with nutrition, if they're exercising, their rest and stress management, reducing toxic load, which is huge, and then your informed self-care too. So it kind of helps you out with all the products that can help in all of those categories. So starts off as number 1. One thing I would say that in the change that I think the older one was a little bit easier just to help with this one section, but super easy to fix. And by all means, if you like it this way, keep it. I just personally, I like how the other one was broken down to your top health priorities. This used to be what the products you have, and this would be what you need. And instead of adding them all together and knowing what you have, what you need, yada, yada, and pretty much your 90-day goals is going to be your health priorities. So that's kind of where I find to change it up a little bit. So again, as they're talking or as you're talking at a class and they're thinking of their health priorities, that brings this up. So those top 3. So you want them to really think, whether it be more sleep, more energy, they want to drink more water, all those things, super, super important. Based on the products that they ordered from you, from the class, again, you're going to write down for those health priorities what products they have that can help already and what ones that might be more beneficial, or extra beneficial, I should say. So let's say they got the Essential Collection Kit, top 10 oils, but no diffuser. So let's say sleep was a main one. You could write down they've got lavender, but they don't have their diffuser yet. So a diffuser might be something, to put in this category. Other examples might be they talk about wanting more energy. So let's say, they've got their peppermint to wake them up, but something that you might be able to add to talk to them about, like the Mito 2 Max for that stamina, that energy, that complex. Drinking water, like I said, that be an example. They might have their lemon, but you know what, a little switch up in the day, you might want the wild orange, you might with the smart and sassy, if the weight part with the drinking water is coming in. So you can add those things in too. But again, if you like it this way, if it breaks down, then that's fine too. It's totally up to you guys. So this is an excellent time to bring up with loyalty rewards. You've already talked about products they have, products they might need. So you're not kind of puking on them information of more money they have to spend on a monthly basis before you've even discussed that they may need some other items to help them out. So this is really cool. 3 main things about LRP. Again, you're getting your points back in your shipping. You're getting your additional percentage back based on your PV value, and then the free product of the month with the 125 plus. So LRP is definitely something you want to become familiar with, really before talking with people. In a brief, if you can kind of do your spiel in a couple minutes, it's not going to be too overwhelming. And it's going to get out like the main points, basically. All right. So this is a great thing to show them. It just basically shows the difference between a standard order as well as an LRP. Again, we know standard order, we're wholesale customers anyway, so that's great. You still get that. But again, everything else with LRP, it's not, I always say to people, it's not just a money grab. It's not something just to help me. It really does break it down for them in a good way and gives them the best bang for their buck. Everybody wants that. There's no joke there. So just explaining this to them again, their additional points back. Just so you guys know, I'll explain a little bit with this, so some of you guys are a little unfamiliar. We start off at 10% for any orders that are 50 PV or more. So after 3 months of ordering orders of 50 PV or more, you move up to 15%. Now, a big thing, a lot of people think that has to be consecutive, and it doesn't. So it's ideally just 3 months of 50 PV. So you could do in January and February, you could have had an order of 50 PV or more, but in March you only needed 11, so it was just the 10. So that's okay. Then let's say, where are we? In April, you did another 50 PV. Perfect then. The next time you do that 50 PV, you're at the 15%. So just keep in mind, it doesn't have to be consecutive. And it's not that it counts whether you're doing a big one or not. It's literally 1 to 3 months of the 50 PV. You'll go up to 5% to a max of the 30. But anybody who's been on that for the year, or if you enrolled at the time that you got the automatic 30, it's crazy how many points you get per month. It really is insane. And again, when we're at that point, we can talk to them a little bit more about it. Just again, of how good that is. So carrying on here. So the second and third kind of sections, a lot of people are planners, and I think that's a great thing. I don't know, personally, I tend to be a little bit more like that. Not so much that how to say this. It's not that it's like an OCD thing that I have to do that. It makes it easier on me. I find if things are broken down really easily, then I will do it. I'm really good at following instructions. Let's just say that. So you tell me what to do, I'm going to do it. And I find, through this 2.5 years of doing it, a lot of people are like that, especially since it is kind of overwhelming to start. So this is an excellent way. You can, with the products they have, as well as the products they will be getting, you start filling in their morning, afternoon, and evening of when they're going to use stuff. So let's say it's going to be the lavender for sleep. So you're going to fill in the section of the evening. You're going to put 4 drops in a half an hour before bed, let that kind of fill the air, and then be able to have a more relaxing sleep. They've kind of created what is the really good kind of daily habits for us. I believe a lot of this was dictated by Dr. Hill too, which I just absolutely love him. And so these are ones that you can check off. So it's kind of key ones that lets them know overall the best kind of habits they can get into. And by all means, other than the lemon and stuff and lavender, there's not a ton of the oils. So this is where you fill it in. Again, whether it's telling them you want 2 drops of lemon in the morning, 2 drops of wild orange in the afternoon, 2 drops of lemon in the evening. You're going to break this down for them very, very easily. And there's just a little section you can add some extra stuff in there too. Just more goals they might have, or any just other information. The fourth part here, is now where we take the items that we filled out that they will need, and this is going to break down basically their wish list. I think it really helps because it makes people realize it's not that they have to do a huge order of a ton of stuff again after they've just purchased all these oils. We don't want to make it seem, that it is all about the money there, because it's not. So this kind of breaks it down in month by month. And I think they do the 3 because a lot of people, that's the way we kind of say it to them, is even within a 3-month wish list, it's perfect to be able to break down and make it not be as costly at each month. Again, like I said here, ideally create their list in order of priority. But also it is at least 50 PV so they can get the extra percentage of points. So definitely if sleep is their main thing, whatever they need when it's based on sleep, we want that on month 1. If they're like, yeah, okay, I'll start with the peppermint, I'll try that, but that Mito2 Max sounds really cool, maybe that's going to be month 2 or month 3. So you get their date on here for them, tally up their PV so if there's a way to break it down that it is that each time it is over 50, then perfect, because they're just going to get those extra benefits from it. Alrighty, so another thing you want to do at the time with them is a back office overview. And I don't know how many times, I get asked questions, and again, it's by those that haven't taken me up on the wellness consult, but they don't know how to change something. They don't know how to add in their credit card information, certain things like that. So I find it, again, really important to be able to do this. So best thing is if you bring your laptop to it, excellent. Even better if it's their computer, because their information can be saved. So it just saves an extra step there. Definitely. So mitoterra.com, we're super used to putting that in. You're going to put in, or they're going to put in, their ID number and the temporary password that you gave them. One great thing you can show them while you're there is through the My Office settings, is they can change their password to something that's a little bit more memorable for them. Now, by all means, if they ever are going to need your help with something, then they're just going to have to disclose that to you. A lot of people I found have been fine with just keeping the basic one that we kind of give, but by all means, that's their choice. So just kind of show them where it is if they want to. Again, because of what you've just gone over with them of the products that they will need, you can actually be able to do that first order for them. So if it's setting up their LRP, or if they've decided they're not ready for that, which is okay. Again, no pressure on anything. If they just want to do a standard order for a few things, then we can show them that too. So even if they're like, you know what, I just want to wait a bit, I just want to use my oils for a month or 2, again, honor that by all means. It doesn't mean they're never going to. It's probably just that overwhelmed feeling. But what you can do is you can still go to show them a standard order, which you can just cancel afterwards, but just be able to do the steps up until the point that you process. Another thing that I go over with people is also through how to get them to track their orders. just based on, again, experience of how many people are like, oh, do you know when I'm going to get this? I haven't got it yet, yada, yada. If you teach them how they can look it up, it just saves those phone calls. And again, when there's 10 people on your team, it's not so bad. But when your businesses grow and you've got 1,000 people on your team, you do not want a couple hundred people asking you, when their order's coming in. Again, just as much for them as it is for you. So that's a good one too. So just in their Wellness Advocate Services, there's the My Order section, and you can be able to click on to see with the tracking as well of when it should be arriving. Also, just show them again based on where the promos are. So they know, again, they'll get an email in the first of the month, but it's really good just in their back office if by chance they've missed that email or whatnot, just that they can be able to see that. I would suggest getting them to do a reminder in their phone for the first or the second of the month, just to be able to check that. Because it might be a month that they have a lot of things that they want to get on this LRP or order in general. And if they can take, I should say LRP more so for, say, the product of the month, but let's say they have an order that's going to be over the 125, you don't want them to miss out on that. So if they're seeing what the product is, that might be, again, a little incentive. They can be like, okay, I'll order everything on this month because then I'm going to get this for free, which is actually on my list as well. So again, those promos really, really important to let them know how that works. So again, explaining through their cart, if it is LRP, how they change that. Let them know again that it's only once a month. As soon as that order ships out, it'll change to the same date, but in the following month. Ideally, it's great to have the orders before the 15th of the month. It's not necessary. In order for the product of the month, the free product of the month, it definitely has to be in before the 15th of the month. But at the same time, another thing, what makes that really important is that gives you a good idea for your business where your volume's at. It really, having one late in the month, you can still find out when people's LRPs are through your dashboard, your back office there, or your genealogy, sorry. And but it gives you a better idea to kind of, you might have to do a push at the end of the month. And if you have a rough idea by the 15th where your volume's at, you kind of know what legs that you might need to do a little push into. So ideally to say before the 15th, even more ideally, say between the 5th and the 15th, just for the reason being it gives them a couple days to find out what those promos are, get their order together, and so it doesn't ship out on the first of the month and they haven't added enough in and whatnot. Let's see here. So huge thing, plug them into support and education. Okay. So let me see here. Big one again, like we talked about, the drip email campaign. And so this is, again, doterra.com in the living section or through the Whole Fit. Both of them are very, very excellent. More community page, or the Whole Fit community page. Again, my page, your own page, whatever is going to give them the best information. Again, with not at the beginning, if you're starting and you don't have a page, or you say if you're still working your full-time jobs and you're still really, really busy, you might not have the time to support that page as well. So to start, it might be a good idea to put it in one of the other ones just to be able to support the people a little bit better. Definitely with the resources, those I find that end up going on LRP or just order more frequently definitely have some sort of reference book, resource book, as opposed to just the Facebook pages. I don't know if it's an old school thing or what. Personally, I'm like that too. I like having something concrete I can look at. But whether it's the Essential Life book, there's the Modern Essentials book as well, and there's a Modern Essentials app as well for anybody that is very kind of techie and does everything on their phone. That's a good one too. It's something that people can order on their own. Some builders or teams will actually do a group order with it because you do get cheaper prices when you get over 10, and you can kind of sell them out from there too. So any online continuing education classes that your upline is offering, so take advantage of that. We're all here to help. We all have different ideas on what we kind of want to focus on certain months. So plug them into any of those, whether it's Angie's, Megan's, my own. feel free. There's lots of stuff out there. This is also an excellent time to ask them about hosting a class. Again, it allows them to hear everything again as they're starting to think. They've had a little bit more time. They want to learn a little bit more. They start thinking of their friends and family again that could probably take advantage of learning this stuff as well. So definitely ask them at that time to be able to host a class, and make them the expert, not you. Again, we talked about that. We aren't experts, none of us, and that's okay. But a big part of it again is realizing you want them to be able to find their own answers. And it's not that you don't want to help them. It's just, it's all kind of out there. So showing them how easy it is to find, it's going to save them time from trying to contact us. And again, it's going to help us to be able to save some time from going to our books and looking it up, that we can actually show them just how easily it actually is. Alrighty. So a little bit extra here with some continuing education, just some ideas that you can do down the road. It gets in a little bit more in depth. So I would say, truly, once maybe you're at like an elite, or if you feel really confident about some of the extra product lines, that's a good time to do it. I would do it when you do have, at least a little team kind of started, just to have better support, better attendance. And I think that'll make you feel better about it too as you're presenting, or setting up this event basically. So you could do monthly classes on other product lines. So again, we get used to our top 10 oils, but the Lifelong Vitality, doTERRA's #1 selling product. So you know what? If we can learn a little bit more and be able to teach people a little bit more about it, we know that's a crucial one for LRP for sure, because it gives us a month's supply. So that's a great way. The skincare, any of those kind of collections are good to do as kind of like a 201 class. Using Zoom is excellent. Zoom calls are free up until 45 minutes. So by all means, you can do a bunch of these. You could plan a class for a half an hour, leave a little bit of time for question and answer. And you can do that absolutely free for your teams. Another one can be just even through classes with Synduit. And that's actually something that a system that I have, I find it very effective to help get information out there. For one, that I might not be a pro at, but two, it's very scheduled. And they have a ton of options for online classes, different webinars, live events. And again, you still need to know about the products to be able to do a live event, but it's a really good avenue to be able to do all that. DIY events are excellent to do. Just from personal experience with things, I find once people have their oils, that's when you kind of go to get them to come to do a DIY event. A lot of people will take advantage of you saying, come make a couple roller bottles. And, a lot of those people will have already enrolled under somebody and they just kind of want some product, like some cheap kind of rollers. A lot of people do like $10, you get 2 rollers out of it. That's pretty cheap. So, there's a lot of things that way that can go against our favor. And I find that once the people have their oils, that's an excellent time because it allows them to come see what they can do with them. They've got this box, they've got these rollers, but what the heck do they do with it? So those are excellent ones. Customer appreciation events, again, once your team gets bigger, it's great. You can invite them and be able to have, a display of some of the collections, some information about it. And specialty classes, so anything athletes, babies, kids, back to school, lots of options with that. And again, those are great ones using our toolkits that Ange has created for us. You can do just those specialty classes as well. Definitely offer the biz opportunity. I touched on this briefly before. At class, again, it's fine to do it a little bit, but once you're sitting down doing that one-on-one, you'll kick yourself if you don't, if you find out down the road that they did want to, and you could have shown them sooner that you will mentor them and support them. And that is the biggest thing with this. It's all kind of foreign to us all when we start. Knowing you've got that support for your builders makes a world of difference. So definitely when you're talking with them, you want to kind of talk about the different paths a little bit more. So we've got, again, the share. As I was saying, this is a great way just to be able to cover your own monthly oils, which is really good. Anything helps us as business with volume as well. And then from that point, realizing too, most of our builders come from being loyal customers. So keep in mind, if they say no, that's okay. Again, get them just using their oils, loving their oils. Give them the opportunity that if they do want to build, just let you know. You can come back. You can chit chat with them, have a call, and be able to talk a little bit more in depth about it. So again, the build guide, and a good way of saying this, I'm just curious. Are you open to the idea of creating an income with doTERRA? By saying I'm just curious, it doesn't put pressure, huge pressure on them, and it doesn't sound too pushy with you. I tend to, when I'm doing follow-up with people, I say that word a lot, or 2 words, just curious, because you are, it's you're curious how they love them, what they loved best about them. So when you're talking about the building opportunity, that's a great way as well. Alrighty, so we're gonna get to homework, and then we will go into a little kind of, if anybody has questions, and then I also just want to talk a little bit about the promos this month, just to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. So homework, okay. Either download and print, view online, order in your back office, whatever you need to do. Get one of these live guides in your hands, okay? Just practice it, go through it with one person. Like even doing our classes, it's all about practicing. Like I said, it walks you through it very easily. Key things of understanding a little bit more with LRP, I would say, would be the most crucial about it. But just practice with it. All I'm asking is that you go through with one person and get them to, answer honestly, which might help you out, kind of break it down what you would do with somebody, as opposed to just maybe saying it in the mirror. Have somebody be able to answer back. Like I said, I'm going to post Megan's begin Zoom call for the placements and compensation. And then also another thing that I thought, this month on your LRP, maybe try one new thing. I know we kind of get stuck a little bit. We get our favorites, it happens all the time. And then somebody asks us about something and we don't really know what to say. So, whether it be, truthfully, I'll be honest, I have ate the children's PB Assist Junior. What better way to taste it to know? And it's going to be beneficial, obviously, for me as well. But, something different that you might not use on a normal basis, try it and get it. Maybe not, again, I understand not something that's crazy expensive and whatnot, but there might be a product that you would be able to sample out to a lot of people that it might be beneficial. But just try that. Just start expanding a little bit more. So some fairly easy homework. I know this is our last call, so I'm hoping you guys will just be able to, comment in that you're done it. I do appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's time and effort putting in with this. It's great. Like I said, overall with this, we're going to create probably about an 8-module program that every new builder we have, we're going to be able to plug into this. So it's going to save us time. It's going to have all the resources. I'm going to have the videos as well as different links. Pretty easy to walk through. And then you can have your builders be able to check back in with you once they've gone through the modules as well. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Let's see. And Kaylee's my big face today on the screen. So does anybody have any questions? Definitely unmute yourself if there's anything about those wellness consults or anything. Totally fire away. I see Kristen eating something. Little provocative there, girl, from the angle, just letting you know.
That's why I wasn't screen sharing. I'm like sitting over here completely vegging out, and then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go back on video. Wait.
Hilarious.
It's a hot dog.
Oh, see, even more. That wasn't even where I was going, but all right. That's
Hi, everybody.
Hilarious. Too funny. So yeah, does anybody have any questions about it, or did I ramble enough and my awesome total sex 900 number voice 911, that's a little scary. Okay then, so on that note, I just want to briefly kind of go over the promos, just because of the differences. So I would suggest, Megan did a video earlier too and had just a great idea of printing out this sheet just to take along to any one-on-ones or classes. It's actually one of the ones in the folder that we were given, but it might be easier to explain as you're doing the classes. This promo is an awesome one for people to take advantage even more of the Home Essentials kit, because that kit alone covers them with the 200 PV. Then they're getting the 3 times the oil from the little ones, your free diffuser, plus deciding which freebies they want to what warehouse they can be able to order from. So awesome promo. So we've got our 10% off our cleaning, our concentrated cleaner, which totally made me excited. Kaylee, I know you'll be super pumped about that too. And so with that one, and then we've got our product of the month, which is the rosemary. And then breaking down, so from the Canadian warehouse, any 200 PV order, so this is going to be a new enrollment or an LRP, you're going to get the free Immortelle, which is a highly sought out anti-aging roller. And from the US, you're going to get all the On Guard, the hand sanitizer, the toothpaste, your oil, and the wild orange as well. Super freaking awesome. Again, everybody's going to be different with it that way, depending on where they want to go with it. But yeah, very, very cool. So then, I'm not sure if you guys saw that Megan has actually added in a couple draws for extra incentives too. She normally does this with the 200 PV orders. And so for any order, it doesn't just have to be an LRP order, but any order that's fired off before the 7th of the month, you're going to get in a draw for both a bottle of frankincense as well as a draw for a yoga collections kit. Now, if someone's LRP or order that goes in and it's between the 7th and the 15th, it's just going to be for the yoga collection, which is still awesome. So lots of chance to get lots and lots of freebies. I've got a class at a massage therapist clinic tomorrow, so I was like, you know what, perfect. Just printed this off before the call. I do think that might be easier instead of you having to remember. Just something that I'm doing for that one is I'm literally just bringing the Home Essentials kit and all the potential freebies. I'm going to make it simple since there are a lot of products to kind of talk about. And the Aroma Touch diffuse kit, just because the technique for massage therapists too. So I am going to talk about that a little bit more. But basically, that's all I'm going to have at the class, instead of overwhelming them, just to have what they can get so they can actually see it right there. But really good promo, so take advantage of that for sure. Those folders are excellent that the committee has been able to put out for us. So there's lots of information there, lots of different images. I would say definitely fire out something if you've got your own page, do that, either today or tomorrow, just so they can take advantage of Megan's extra promo before the 7th as well. But again, if your classes aren't until the end of the month, then that's okay too, not a big deal. But yeah, I think that's kind of covered everything. Again, does anybody have any questions, or is everyone pretty clear on things? Pretty good? Awesome. Okay, cool. So thank you guys so much for just attending. Thank you to all of the leaders for speaking. I really appreciate that. If you can try, we've talked about getting those actual videos in of just you doing your presentation by mid-May would be excellent. And then Kristen's going to actually help me sit down and be able to set up the whole program with it. So if you guys can try just to have those videos in, that would be great. And then I can get to that and have that done by the end of May so we can be able to plug everybody in for June of our new builders too. By all means, this is yes. Oh. Is someone chit-chatting? Kaylee, are you saying something? Or
I was gonna, but I'm waiting until you're done.
Oh, okay. Feel free.
We have to video our stuff.
So just you must have missed that comment in the conversation. So just when you have a moment, maybe when Blaine isn't eating stuffed animals, but just whenever you get a chance, just go through your stuff and show your presentation again.
Okay.
So all it basically is going to be is us not talking about the homework. We're not going to have actual homework for people. These recordings, of course, we've got some extra jibber jabber in and starting off and rambling about stuff. So just to keep it a little bit more kind of professional with it, we're going to have just the presentation, just the slides. and yeah, and nothing else there. So whenever you get a chance in the next kind of couple weeks, that would be awesome if you could do that. Okay. Perfect. Hi, Blaine. How was your birthday party?
How was your birthday? Can you hear us? Can you hear me? I'm shy.
So cute. Too funny.
Okay.
Ready, guys. Okay, so if there's nothing else, then if you think of something afterwards, then by all means, just post it in the group. And yeah, get doing that homework. I know Deb's going to be doing it. You know, there's no question there. No, that's awesome. Totally, Deb. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, definitely, guys, any questions, let me know. Anything about the promos too. But just do that little bit of homework. Can't stress out enough, stress enough about the fact with these guides. Helps you even just have one that you kind of, keep with you. At the classes, you can actually hand these out. If they book that date, great. If you've got extras, send them home with this. They get a bit of time to go through things. And then when you meet up with them, they could have some stuff already filled out as well. Or if you send it online, they print it out. Lots of different options at least. But think of supporting your customers. This month, again, like we said, is a great one for it. We're supporting all those people we've enrolled in the past, and talk maybe a little bit more about LRP. Let's get a couple, extras even on that. It'll just make your life easier. It's going to help them out in the long run. More products, more solutions, healthier, happier lives. And yeah, so I'm glad I kept it to just that, because obviously I babbled more than I thought I would. And so we'll leave it at that. You guys have an excellent night. I'm going to go and not talk so I get my voice back a little bit more. Ian's going to get Chinese food too, so I'm super excited about that. Anyway, so you guys have a great night, okay? And we will chat with you soon. Quick, just show of hands, sorry before, just curious. How many people here are going on May 17th to the Wellness Summit? Okay, and I'm pretty sure Lauren is too, and Megan got bumped off. Not sure. Okay, so that. Does anybody have anybody coming with them as well? Okay, still time for it. Don't worry. No worries that way. There's lots of time for it. I think there's still tickets available. I know some people have got extras too, so we'll do our best to get everybody a ticket if we have more people that's coming too, and Lauren with her friend as well. Perfect. Okay, just curious. I'm hoping we can kind of meet up a bit early, maybe have a little team drink at the restaurant there again, just to have everybody really try to, just get to know each other, see each other's faces. Again, it's crucial important. I think I've noticed that the strongest teams that build this are the ones that really jive together the best. So love everything we can kind of be doing together that way as well. So awesome. I'll do a little tally maybe the day before or a couple days before, just to kind of see you too, and we'll figure out times to kind of meet and whatnot. Okay. So again, saying bye again, I ramble. So have a good night, guys. Okay, go chill out, have a drink, have a tea, enjoy some time just relaxing, and we will chat with you soon. Okay. Alrighty. See you guys.